Hi, everyone. Welcome to Trivera Tip Tuesday. In case you missed it, the last time we talked, we were talking about what we learned at HubSpot's Virtual Inbound Conference 2020, and we covered some great tips about SEO, content, and being audience-centered. It wasn't just about inbound marketing, so be sure to check that out. I am Christina Stetter, the EVP here at Trivera Interactive, and today I'm talking with Jamie about digital marketing for beginners, which are things that we often discuss when we're meeting with people who are thinking of becoming Trivera clients. So can you introduce yourself, Jamie?
Hi, I'm Jamie Reinhardt. I am the Senior VP of Business Development. I've worked at Trivera for over 5 years, and I meet with a lot of clients that are looking to start digital marketing, but don't quite know how to start digital marketing.
Yeah, I think that's why this is such an important conversation. We're going to talk about some basic beliefs that people have about how digital marketing should work and what needs to be done first. And we've been having a lot of these conversations right now because companies are really getting on the digital marketing bus, especially with COVID. You know, some of it might be panic induced, but either way, we are really glad that people are getting excited about digital marketing because it is the best way to reach people in a targeted, thoughtful way and meet them where they are at. So let's start our conversation today by talking about what is always the elephant in the room during prospective client meetings, and that is budget. What is someone who's starting down the path to digital marketing? What should they know about the budget, Jamie?
Budget, well, we all have to have one. We know that. One of my big recommendations is just to be really informed. Work within your network, your other people in your marketing network. Learn what the right amount of money that they have in their budget. You want to make sure to work closely with your management, talk with them, make sure everyone's in line with the expectations. Now, when you're working with an agency, one of the biggest pieces of advice I could give you is tell us what the budget is. We work with most of our long-term clients on setting a budget, on a yearly basis that's right for them and understanding how to help them hit their goals. Really, if we're not helping our clients reach their goals, then they're not really going to be clients for that much longer. So many of the new clients, though, are going through the normal vetting process with us and potentially other agencies. And I totally get wanting to get the best deal. But for us as an agency, it really comes down to how we can best help you invest that budget to see a return. The more open the clients can be with us about budget, the more transparent we can be with the work that we can or can't do, and how we can help them out. If you don't have any idea about a budget, we'll definitely tell you what we think it should be. Like I said earlier, also talk with your network and your boss and others, and try to get a sense. So if you talk to us, you talk to your network, you talk to your boss, you should have a pretty good idea as to where your budget should line up. Now, Trivera, our agency, strives to work within most budgets. Our clients just understand if we need to lower the budget, we'll do less work on a monthly basis, and potentially goals will be hit a little bit slower. But we always want to work with our clients and the client's budget.
Yeah, I think we always say there's a way, but I think you hit on a really important point, and that is that we need to balance the level of work with the level of expectations. Mm-hmm. So obviously we can work at any speed. I mean, basically our budget is a math problem. We're like a lawyer or a CPA or any other professional service provider. We sell time and ideas. And so the budget basically turns into a math problem for us. How long do we think it's going to take us to do something? Mm-hmm. And then multiply that by our hourly rate and figure out what we are going to need to ask the client to make as an investment. So the challenge that we run into is if the budget is too low, we can certainly work at that pace, but it might take longer to achieve results. So as a brand new digital marketer, you need to make sure that your boss knows what we're doing, when we're doing it, and when we expect to start to see a return on the investment. Because if we're working at a very slow pace, it's going to take a while to drive results. And so you have to make sure that everybody knows that and has realistic expectations. And that actually leads us to our next point, which is you have to do the boring stuff first when you're starting down the path to digital marketing, right, Jamie?
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. Many clients, especially new to digital marketing, want to jump in right in and start marketing or building a website. But like Christina said, first you have to do what ownership might consider be the boring stuff. Marketing nerds like ourselves, we consider it the fun stuff, but you have to do the discovery. The discovery sets the foundation for seeing an ROI on your marketing and website investment, really.
Yeah, and I think that it's for us, I mean, it's mandatory. We won't work with a new client unless we're doing discovery with them. And I've been in a lot of these meetings with you. I think that people ask us a lot of questions about our discovery because our process is a little different. So can you describe that to everybody, Jamie, so they understand what we think a discovery should include? A good one.
Sure, yes. And really on a high level, the discovery it's us learning about your company and the goals and vision and getting insights through research and providing recommendations based off of what we learn. Really, how do we do that? We do it through a series of meetings and individual research. We begin marketing discovery by meeting with our clients and exploring the history, current situation, vision for the future. We dig into your brand, the competitive environment, and as well as technical needs. And then we explore the full scope of digital marketing opportunities. So we look at everything that's out there for you. And we start this by doing lots of information gathering and collaboration with our clients. Lots of information gathering. Who's involved? Christina, from your experience, who's the best to have in these initial discovery meetings? Who would you recommend?
Well, obviously the marketing people, but not just the marketing people. And that actually surprises a lot of people who are new to digital marketing. We want management and sales also in these meetings. And that's because we ground all of our marketing recommendations in business goals. Marketing doesn't exist to do marketing. Marketing exists to help the company meet its business goals. So, oh boy, dog.
I think the mailman might be here or something.
That's how you know it's 2020. So like I was saying, we ground all of our recommendations in business goals. And so we need all these people in the room because there's a reason that your company is successful and has achieved the things that it's achieved up until this time. And we want to understand that. Now, on the flip side, there's a reason you came to us and you're asking for help. So we have to figure out what are the challenges that you're facing and make sure that we share our ideas with you in a way that management will find and accept, because we're probably going to come back and tell you to do things that you might not necessarily be comfortable with, or we're going to flip some processes on their head or really challenge assumptions that you guys have been making for years. And so management has to understand where these recommendations come from, because if they don't, they will end up pushing you and pushing us into doing the same things you've always done, and yet somehow expecting that because we're doing them, you're going to get a different result.
Yes, the old definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. We've seen it a lot. We all are, fall prey to it from time to time too. But, it's really Trivera's job as your agency to help bring you new insights. And how we're going to do that is we're going to use data to disprove things. And sometimes it can fly in the face of things that people at your company have held to be true for years and years and years. We look at each recommendation through the lens of, will this tactic help, hurt, make it better, and how? Do you have something? You can't just do something just to do it. An example of this would be starting a blog without an SEO or content generation plan, doing social on the wrong channels with no strategy or tie into sales and marketing, or setting up a PPC campaign and just letting it auto run.
Yeah, I think that's what happens when people focus on the fun stuff and the visible stuff and market with tactics rather than starting with, what's your goal? What are you trying to achieve? And that's a really big deal. And I think that really leads to one of the other things that we really want to make sure people understand when they're just getting started down the digital marketing path, which is it's important for you to understand SEO and what technical SEO is and why it matters, because I think a lot of people don't know about that. Don't you, Jamie?
Yeah, I agree. It surprises me. Many of our clients don't understand this, and it also changes so frequently that even if you did understand some technical SEO, if you're not up to date on it, what you used to think is true may not be true anymore. Technical SEO definitely fits into that category. Christina, can you just explain technical SEO just a little bit?
Oh, sure. So basically, it's related to the functionality of your website. It's necessary to have your site work well from a technical standpoint because that's about 70% of what Google uses to determine whether your site should show up or someone else's site. And it's going to be even more important as Google rolls out page experience metrics next year. So the idea is Google has to crawl, render, and index your site. So your site has to be structured properly. This can be a huge problem for people who maintain their own WordPress sites. It's really easy to add pages to the site without nesting them into the correct folder structure. So then you end up with URLs that don't actually match the navigation path, and that's confusing to Google. Your site also has to be fast, so it's to load really quickly, especially from an optimized mobile speed. As of September, every site is evaluated by Google by the quality of its mobile experience. Even if most of your users come from a desktop, Google looks at your mobile experience. So you really need to have that buttoned up. You need visual layout stability. So that means, does your content shift as it's loading? Is your code clean? And is your site secure? You know, we always say you can't do SEO to a broken site. And it's super fun, well, at least I think it's fun, to create content. But if Google is giving your site a low score for Web Core Vitals, it almost doesn't matter how much content you create or how good it is. It's just not going to work. So you really need the people that you report to understand that, because that's the part of digital marketing that you can't see and that it really matters. And if you don't do this, it's going to affect what you report on to them, because it will reduce your chances of success. And that's actually one of the last things that Jamie and I want to share with everybody today, is something that you absolutely have to plan for when you start down the path to digital marketing, and that is, how are you going to do your reporting?
Oh yeah, totally agree. Reporting is definitely something you have to think about when you're starting your digital marketing strategy. Measurement and improvement are the keys to reporting. When measuring, you want to consider not just the metrics like visitors, but track what they're doing. And are they consuming the content that you're putting out there? Are they demonstrating behavior that indicates that they're moving themselves through the sales funnel? You know, research has shown now that people push themselves about 70% of the way down the sales funnel, even in B2B. Do you have ways to collect their information, not just the contact form? You know, you don't want to ask to get married on the first date. You want to make sure that you're collecting information along the way.
Yeah, and that's a whole separate topic about information collecting and lead nurturing. Reporting is actually a whole separate topic. We could talk about that for a very long time. There's a couple other Tip Tuesdays out there on those topics, so be sure to check those out. But basically, the bottom line is that your reporting should be related to your business goals. If you don't do that, you'll be reporting on vanity metrics, things like likes or clicks, you know, and you want to report on, are you making the company money with the money that you're spending on your marketing? All right, so that is all the time we have for today. We hope that you'll tune into some of our other Tip Tuesdays. We have lots of them, and a few webinars, both on our website and on our YouTube channel, that cover in depth a lot of the things that we've talked about today. So Jamie, thanks for joining me again and sharing this information with people, and have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.